Now we're going to Christchurch.
I can't get over how perfectly all our luggage fits in this trunk. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye to our spacious car. Today we're driving to New Zealand's second largest city of Christchurch, where we explore the city and surroundings before hopping on a flight to do what so many of you have been asking in the comments. We're going to the North Island for the last part of the trip. But first, we're sharing some reflections among the colorful lupins of Lake Tekapo.
Det är jobbigt att
Men så här sitter på liksom i knä.
So, hi from another insanely breathtakingly beautiful place, Lake Tekapo.
This is a common theme here in New Zealand, as you can tell.
I think that New Zealand is such a great place to come and just unwind and be in nature.
Just be, honestly.
Yeah, take it slow. What I love so much after stressing to explore so many places is that here you don't feel the same like stress that you have to get out and check things off the list. It's just about being here and being in the moment.
Yeah.
You don't need to see everything because everything is so amazing. You just take little samples of what you can and like soak them up.
I think this is really becoming a turning point for us. We're starting to reflect so much on what we've actually been doing, going to 100 countries, and how we're obviously so thankful for having pushed ourselves to do it, but also we're so excited for what lies ahead, which is going to be a very different journey. This year marked the end of the first half of our 20s, and I think we're entering a pretty different phase of our lives where we're starting to look more for quality in life as opposed to quantity, if that makes sense. We're gonna talk more about this in future videos, but we're just starting to think about what the future holds and how it's gonna be different from what we've been doing for the past 3+ years.
Is it cold?
Still pretty cold. Maybe we're getting into like late April, early May territory in Swedish lakes now, so we're no longer in March at least, but it's still not warm.
So after leaving Tekapo, the landscape completely changed again. Now it's a little more like Europe. Well, okay, it's kind of like the UK, like just fields.
Just rolling green hills, farms everywhere.
Well, it's so cool knowing that this is so close to what we just saw. Glaciers and crystal clear blue lakes. It's all within a few hours of the other spot.
After a few hours of driving, we made it to Christchurch. We were starving and we're so excited to head to a fully vegan fast food place we remembered from our time in Australia 3 years ago.
We're in the country of Lord of the Rings and we're having dinner at Lord of the Fries. I don't remember if we love it, but we ate there a lot in Australia, Melbourne, and Perth.
It really seems like here in Christchurch, things close at a very Swedish hour, so we're used to it, everything being closed very early, but this is open past midnight, so let's get some fast food galore. Okay, there's a lot of music, so we'll keep it quick.
We have steak burgers, which looked amazing. This is a chain that's fully vegan that you can find all over down under.
Alright, it's the next day and we're out exploring Christchurch a little bit more, and the immediate thing that just strikes us is how similar all the architecture is to the Nordics. Like, it just feels like we're at home, or we're probably like Oslo or Helsinki,
or
something
even
like that.
Reykjavik, Iceland.
Yeah.
Like some of the buildings. It does mess with your mind.
It's just weird how far away we are from home, yet it just feels like we're still in Scandinavia or the Nordics, you know? And of course the trams remind us of our hometown Gothenburg as
Excuse me, our trams in Gothenburg.
They have nothing on these ones actually.
Yeah, don't even call them the same type of vehicle.
We're not really in Christchurch to explore the city though, because from what I've gathered from my research, it's not necessarily the most exciting place for tourists to visit, but there's a really cool place just outside of the city called Banks Peninsula. So we're very excited to explore that today. But first, we're heading to have some lunch. We
wanted to try this fully vegan health food restaurant, but after checking it out, we realized it wasn't really our thing and instead went to a Japanese restaurant with some great vegan curry and noodle options.
Okay, we are heading out into the countryside. We ended up having the most delicious Japanese lunch. I think it's the most delicious Japanese food I've had in years besides sushi.
So good.
And the thing with the vegan restaurant we went to initially, it's like the #1 vegan place in Christchurch, is that sometimes vegan restaurants really go way too far. Like, you don't have to be overly healthy and bland just because you're vegan. There's no association whatsoever.
Or healthy doesn't have to mean bland either. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so sad how I feel like there are restaurants like that all around the world that just give veganism a bad rep. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so sad.
And vegan food is not bland. There's so many amazing restaurants like we show in our vlogs that you can go to and have delicious food. It's just that some of them, it's like, why are you doing this? Made it to Akaroa, this beautiful little vacation feeling. I guess it's a seaside town.
It's a seaside town. It has French colonial legacy. It also has Maori, a lot of Maori connections. So it's an interesting place. It reminds me a lot of Simonstown, South Africa, which is like a little town outside of Cape Town. The cool thing about this whole peninsula is that it was formed out of 2 volcanoes that were here. And so we're basically walking around inside one of the craters right now, which is really cool. So up there you have the ridge, or the edge of the crater, I guess. And down here, we're basically standing in the lava. One of the main and coolest things you can do out here is going on a dolphin safari, and not only that, but you can also go swimming with the dolphins in their natural habitat. But it is New Zealand after all, so prices are of course quite steep, so I don't think it's happening today, unfortunately, although it would have been really cool to do. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta prioritize. I think the thing about prices, especially for like tourist activities or like outings that you do, is that once you've been to like Southeast Asia, where it's always easy, it's all like very well organized, and it's also super cheap, then it's kind of like wherever else you go in the world, it's very hard to justify doing a tour there or like doing some kind of outing. Just knowing that you can get sort of similar experiences in another part of the world for a fraction of the price, it just never leaves you, you know? Compared to the very dramatic mountain landscape that we spent the first few days here in New Zealand in, this type of scenery is of course a lot more sort of familiar to us. It's super, super pretty, but the thing that makes it still feel so otherworldly somehow is all the plants. Like, all the greenery is just so different. It feels like it's from a different planet, and especially considering how far south we are, how far away from the equator, it just doesn't feel like this type of greenery belongs here, you know? It feels too like tropical or exotic. Like, it's just so interesting.
Hello, clouds. We're coming.
So we went up on the ridge, and this is supposed to be a beautiful scenic drive. Have a look.
It was so beautiful until we entered the clouds. No.
Hey, sir, I'd like a refund. Wow, hva sier du på det veien ut til havet?
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
It's such a beautiful day here in Christchurch, which breaks our heart because we have to go. We are heading up to the North Island today, to the biggest city in our 100 countries.
Let's go to Auckland. And just like that, we have landed in Auckland, and wow, the difference in temperature here. You can definitely tell that we're getting into the more subtropical area of the world. These clothes that I'm wearing are way too warm, so it's exciting. The approach was so beautiful as well. I don't think there is a single place in New Zealand that is not beautiful. There's just different levels of beautiful.
Thank you as always for watching the whole video, guys. We wanted to try something new today and edit the video a bit differently than usual. Let us know in the comments how you like this new style, or if you didn't notice much of a difference at all. That's also fine. Anyway, we love and appreciate you so much, and until we see you for our rainy adventure in Auckland in our next video, see you around the world.